Estelle's classic lines bring to mind the spaceships of the Buck Rogers Flash Gordon era. It only makes sense our next stop would be Roswell, New Mexico.
Clear.
After a short taxi, we're cleared for takeoff.
Advisor Bravo, flight runway heading, runway 21, clear for takeoff, wind calm. Traffic going 737. 5 off and off across the runway, additional turbulence. Going to the bit slighted.
Alright, 2-1, clear for takeoff, runway heading 3050.
That's Advisor Bravo, turn left heading 120.
Left turn 120, Advisor Bravo. Flying again, Ken. And I was much happier with that takeoff.
That's Advisor Bravo, continue your left turn over the top of the airport, then proceed direct to the fairgrounds and on course.
Alright, direct to the fairgrounds, then on course 3050 Bravo.
So do you know where the fairgrounds are?
No, but we're going to look for them together. Oh, that's probably them right there. That dirt passage.
Oh, this thing that's got a, it's got like a track in it, right where you're heading right now.
Down, right?
Right here. You're going to go right over this.
Oh, yeah.
That's Advisor Bravo, do you see the interstate ahead of you?
Yes, sir, Advisor Bravo.
Advisor Bravo, remain south of the interstate at all times. Contact Houston departure 125.1.
125.1, Advisor Bravo, thanks. Tucson departure, Cessna 3050 Bravo is 3,800, requesting 7,500, south of the interstate.
Cessna 3050 Bravo, Tucson departure. We're going to contact you to appropriate VFR altitude.
Appropriate VFR altitude, Advisor Bravo. I got really excited about this morning, Ken. It took me until this morning to get...
Extra Bravo, Bravo, Hotel, Tucson departure, when?
It's just the combination of shaking off the new airplane nerves and having some good weather in front of us. One smooth leg under our belt does a lot for...
Clearing the Tucson traffic area, we check in with Albuquerque Center for flight following.
Albuquerque Center, Cessna November 3050 Bravo is 35 miles west of Cochi, 7,500, like VFR flight following to Roswell today. Romeo Oscar Whiskey.
Number 3050 Bravo, Albuquerque Center, squawk 1642.
1642, 3050 Bravo.
Unfortunately, the winds were not our friend on this leg. We decide to make a fuel stop.
Albuquerque Center, Cessna 3050 Bravo, 7,500, changing destination to Las Cruces.
November 3050 Bravo, Albuquerque Center, roger.
And I believe we're flying to Oshkosh in a 195. How many people in the world are flying this airplane right now?
Well, how many of them are flying?
There's like 110 in the U.S. And Albuquerque Center, Cessna 3050 Bravo has Las Cruces in sight.
Density altitude 6,800.
Wow.
This is Las Cruces International.
Ha! Awesome. Uncontrolled international airport.
But it says...
Las Cruces area traffic, Cessna 3050 Bravo is 2 mile final runway 4 Las Cruces.
Before you know it, we're setting up to land in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Alright, again, I'll be pretty. Now we can prove that you're human.
And 3050 Bravo's clear.
We taxi in for gas and are met with some new fans for Estelle.
Yeah, we're here in Las Cruces, and we had a short stop for some fuel, and we met some really nice people. And this guy here is not waiting for us, he's waiting for another 195, which is hard to believe. What do you think of our airplane?
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
I like the paint jobs.
Thank you very much.
Looks like a fun one to fly. I'm a tail dragger pilot myself, and I wish I could get in there and take it around the loop a couple times.
Making up for lost time, we're soon off again.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Las Cruces traffic, Cessna 3050 Bravo, departing runway 8 for southeast departure, Las Cruces.
request for flight following to Roswell.
About 5 miles to the southeast of Las Cruces, climbing through 5,500 for 7,500 like VFR flight following to Roswell. That landscape here is incredible. All these swirls in the ground.
Initially, the ATIS says they're landing downwind at Roswell, so we're pleased when the controller updates us with a landing into the wind.
Wind currently 150 at 8, gust 23, would you like runway 17?
17 would be great. 3050 Bravo.
Now this is where the aliens chose to go to.
I guess. I've never been into Roswell before.
Nor have I.
I'm excited. Roswell Tower, Cessna 3050 Bravo, landing with uniform.
Cessna 3050 Bravo, Roswell Tower. Enter a left downwind for runway 17. Traffic just off of departure, enter runway 17 is a C-130, will be westbound.
Alright, so I'll cross over midfield and enter a left downwind, runway 17, 3050 Bravo. And confirming you want me to cross over midfield, left downwind 17.
Cessna 50 Bravo, you can go ahead and enter a right downwind for runway 17.
Alright, right downwind 17, 3050 Bravo.
Cessna 50 Bravo, runway 17 clear to land, wind 120 at 8, gust 18.
17 clear to land, 3050 Bravo.
Nice one.
I'm shaking like a leaf, Ken.
Good job, Michael.
Glad to be on the ground, Ken.
Next stop, the International UFO Museum.
Well, today is a big one for Michael and I. It's our first time that either of us has been to Roswell, New Mexico. And I think most everybody has heard of Roswell. And the one thing that you got to do when you come to Roswell is go to the UFO Museum. So when we got here, we were fortunate enough that we've been introduced to Mark. And Mark is one of the people who has some expertise. And tell us what's going on and what we should look for here.
Well, the museum basically consists of the timeline pertaining to the 1947 incident when a saucer supposedly crashed on the Foster Ranch about 72 miles from here. And then it goes into UFO, world UFO phenomenon, abductions, Betty and Barney Hill's story, crop circles, ancient times, Mayan, clear up to the presidential times, and then we have the research center in the library.
Let me ask you a question on the research. When you mentioned the Benny and Barney Hill story, I remember reading something about that that's always stuck with me. And they say that Betty Hill was abducted, or she claimed to have been abducted, and that she got on this craft, and they asked her to describe what she saw, and she drew a map of what she saw. And what I had read was years later, they said that map was from the solar system, but it was from the other side, and it hadn't been known at that time.
Right.
Is that part of
what
something?
I understand also? There's paintings in the museum that were done by Betty Hill of the aliens that she encountered at the time. There's two different types.
So what brought you to the museum? Have you had an encounter?
I had an encounter back when I was much younger, but no, I'm a retired school teacher.
Okay.
And the director, I knew the director personally, and they needed someone to come in and take over the research center and library with a degree.
Oh, fantastic.
So
So you had an encounter when you were young. Was it in New Mexico?
it was in Artesia, about 42 miles from here.
Okay. Tell me about it. I'm dying. I believe in this stuff.
We were just having a block party in
Okay.
the summer. It was in July. Probably about 6 or 7 that evening. You know, it wasn't dark by any means, and we were all outside, and all of a sudden everybody started getting quiet and looked up, and lo and behold, there was a flying saucer.
How far away?
Oh, well, as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's one of those that you feel like you can get in the car and drive to because it's just down the street.
Okay. Right.
So there, I can't say, but I mean,
It wasn't a dot in the sky. It was,
Oh no, you could definitely see what it was. It was the whole neighborhood was out there,
That is awesome.
so there was a lot of people.
This museum, was it started by one of the people who had an encounter?
It was started by actually 2 gentlemen that were involved in 1947. A Walter Hott, and at the time he was Lieutenant Walter Hott, who was in charge of public relations out here at the base. And then a gentleman by the name of Glenn Dennis, who worked at the local mortuary, who was also involved at the time.
Because did he supposedly have any dealings with the creatures?
No, not that I know of, but they inquired about child-sized caskets, how many they had, when they could get more, what was the best way to preserve a body that's been exposed to the element. He worked at the local mortuary, but they also kind of switched off between ambulance and hearse. It was all basically the same at the time. Talked to a young nurse later on that day that was involved in it. She described what she had seen, what was going on. And shortly after that, she was transferred to London, England, and a few days after that, declared dead by the military.
Yeah, I know that the story really does have a lot of mysteries to it.
Yes.
Is the museum at all endorsed or acknowledged by the military, or what's the response to what you're doing here?
Well, they donated a lot of stuff to the museum.
Oh, okay.
All the blue books, a lot of government documents that we have back in our archival department.
Mark, thank you very much for talking to us today. I'm really excited to be at the museum. Thanks for having us and carving out some time.
Take care.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to go take a look and take some pictures and bring back to our followers. You can check us out on wingster.aero, and you know, we're having an adventure going across the country, and there's a whole bunch of things that people know about that you don't get a chance to do, and we're going to try to do them. So
There you go. Y'all be safe. Thanks
Thank you.
again.
Thanks again. Another satisfying flight and new friends.